The show is a family drama about two girls who find out that they were accidentally switched at birth and how both families deal with that revelation.
One of the things that I thought was almost universal about it is I think so many young people at that age are dealing with identity issues and dealing with discovering who they are.
So I thought, wow, it's just taking that teenage fear and it's just blowing it up 1,000 times. And the network said, oh, you know, we love the concept. Is there a way to sort of up the stakes so that maybe one girl is really, really different in some way? Right there on that phone call, I said, what if one of them's deaf?
It really is dual storylines. It's this switched at birth storyline, and to top it off, we also have a character on the show who's deaf, and it's a completely different world that we're introducing to the audience.
When I read Switched at Birth, I was so excited because it was the first time that a normal teenage girl happened to be deaf in a deaf environment. I mean, it's definitely about the deafness, but it's a normal girl and her struggles and what she goes through in her everyday life.
When I first read the script, I was extremely impressed with the writing, the deaf culture, little things like how to communicate with hearing people, how the environment of a deaf school, how that functions, just exactly like my life. I hadn't seen anything like that anywhere before. It's definitely one of a kind.
I think the premise of our show is so compelling to begin with. But when you also integrate into this the fact that one family is going to be exposed to a completely different deaf culture, I think it adds a whole different overlay of emotion and absolute uniqueness to our television series.
It's going to be a good learning experience for people who have never seen deaf people, or don't know about deaf culture, or haven't even seen sign language.
The world of the deaf is different from any of us would have imagined. The hearing people, I don't think are sympathetic with the difficulties of just kind of being tossed into a whole bigger world that you're cut off from, and how fantastic it is, how little it affects them, really.
You know, there's nothing wrong with being deaf. Nothing, you know, that differentiates you from a hearing person. Just, you know, the fact that you can't hear.
But know that this show is not about deafness. It just has deaf characters in it. And they happen to be in the midst of things that have happened, like a switch at birth, and then how that's dealt with. Doesn't matter if you're deaf or not. There's just so many things that the audience is going to learn from this show. Not just about deafness.